What's up YouTube, it's your boy ChasmRift here, and today I got ourselves an interesting video to go on with the week of tier list that this basically is turning into. So for this video, typically when I make tier list, it'll be like at the end of a season or whatnot, and I would basically just make a tier list based on how strong I think a Pokemon was in the meta so far for VGC. Typically I purposely held out information on like where they placed at in terms of their usage or how much CP they have. But this time, went a little bit different route. This time we're going to be building the team based on if we had a budget, kind of like in sports. So I've been seeing this for years be a thing where like if you had this much amount of money, build this basketball team starting five or build this and that. And I was like, you know what? How about we try this with Pokemon? So the data I got is from Pikalytics. It's based on usage rate of the Pokemon, but the images I got were from VGC stats. So the way I ordered it was, if you're within the top 10 most used Pokemon, so right now Togekiss is number 1, Venusaur is number 10, you're worth $5. And then if you were from 11 to 20, you're worth, $4. If you're, 21 through 30, I put you at $3 range, as well as with a wild card, as in any non-top 50 Pokemon will also be worth at $3 if you feel like, hey, there's a Pokemon I want to put on my team that isn't in the top 50, and so on and so forth. Same for the dollar range. I put as non-fully evolved Pokemon. So if there's a Pokemon you like that isn't fully evolved, I put them in the dollar range because it's like, look, I don't think it would be fair if you want to try something like your favorite Pokemon and they're non-fully evolved mon, and you have to pay $3 to use them. So yeah, this is pretty much the format. In before the jokes of like, oh, how about I just don't build a team and keep the $20? There's no real $20, and I would never give you guys $20 just to play Pokemon. So this is kind of just a breakdown. Gotta build at least 4 to 6 Pokemon. You can't save any money and then say like, oh, I'll use this for a 7th option. No, this is as if you have to actually go into a tournament setting, and this is what you have to rock out with. So yeah, let's do this. It's gonna be fun. It's not gonna be anything too serious. What I do want to say is, the reason I got this information from Pikalytics is because, well, since there's no events going on because everything got canceled, and with the Series 3 stuff going on, Pokemon that got illegal, there wasn't enough time for them to actually, rack up CP. So I felt that it would be unfair to use data from VGC stats that are outdated when a lot of the action that's currently going on and being reported is only on the likes of Showdown, battle stadiums where a lot of people are playing on, but we can't get the data there. So that's really the only reason I got this. What I would say is that the usage of these Pokemon is vastly different than how much CP they've gained on VGC stats before the series ended. So that's something to just keep in mind. So let me know what type of team you'll build down below. I'm about to go into building my team and the thought process behind it. So when I'm looking at this right now, I think the team I would like to build, by the way, this is just involving just Series 3 on up. Series 3 is coming up. Series 4 is coming up. We don't know what's going to be the meta, so I didn't include that. Also, Gigantamax mons are fair in this. Like, there are some Pokemon on this list that may have only been here, looking at you, Butterfree, because they have a Gigantamax form. So just want to keep that in mind. So when I look at this, I'm thinking about like how there's a bunch of steals in this, draft pool, and I kind of want to just, before I came into this, decided I want to kind of build a Sun team because I think Sun is the strongest weather right now for many reasons. 1, G-Max Solar Power Zard is legal in this series. 2, Chlorophyll Venusaur is also legal. 3, the presence of a G-Max Lapras, just being able to set up Sun really mitigates a lot of what it wants to do with its own setup. And 4, there's 2 different modes you can run with it. If you want to be very aggressive, which is happening, there's Charizard Ninetales you can do. If you want to just ensure the Sun, you got one of the slowest setters of weather in the game right now with Torkoal. There's a lot you could do. They both have their ups and downs, but that's kind of what I'm leaning towards. I think if I had to build this, I want to be pretty aggressive right out the gate. So I think to start off, I would spend $4 on Charizard, okay? But I don't want to spend another $4 on Torkoal. That'd be $8 out of the 20 I have, and only built the team with 2 Pokemon. So I think I'm gonna do Charizard for $4. I think I would like to have. I think I'll go the ghetto route. I think I'll do Charizard for $4. I'll use Sableye for additional $1 because you can't prankster a dark type Pokemon. Sableye is a dark type. So I think I'll go down that route of having Sableye be kind of like a pseudo weather setter. So Charizard, Sableye to start off. So that's $5 already. $3 is going to go to the boy Scrafty because he's somehow fallen out of the top 50 in terms of usage, which shows you how flawed this meta is. So Scrafty right there would be another $3. So that's about $8 out of the 12 I had spent. So Scrafty is a very versatile Pokemon. I can't say per se what I want to do with it right now, but looking at with my team right now, we're lacking offense against and defense against fairy types. You know, like Charizard resists fairy type moves, but it doesn't want to just take a hard hit from a Hyper Voice from Sylveon or anything like that. So for me, it's either we have to pick up a fire type or we have to pick up a steel type. And the Ralladon can really cover well in terms of its resistances, but it has pretty bad split def, and I think I'm going to pass that AV off to somebody else right now. That is. So I think if I had to pick, I'll go with a Corviknight, or even Durant would be fine. See, this is where it's hard. Like, if I spend money on Corviknight, that's an extra $4 coming out of my pocket. If I spend money on Durant, it's like that's $3. But Durant by himself is not a very strong Pokemon in my opinion without the Dynamax, because you run the risk of missing moves with Hustle. You're missing out on a lot of damage because you aren't Dynamaxed. So in a lot of weird matchups, Durant could lose, but I think he is a little bit more versatile and practical than Corviknight. This is where it gets tough. You know, I think I might switch it up a bit. So we'll do Charizard still, Scrafty, Sableye. We're gonna stick to that. I think what I'm gonna do is, for this type of team, in theory, I think for good coverage, I'm gonna add. We could go the Ferrothorn route, but there's so many fire type. Actually, that's not a bad idea. We cover a lot of good things. I really don't know what I would do. This is where it gets really tough, like I said. I think, honestly, we'll just have to drop a $5 and pick up Rotom Wash. I think that's the route we have to go. So we'll have Rotom Wash, Charizard so far as our special attackers. Scrafty, physical attacker. Sableye is mostly for support, but he will have foul play. I think he gets knocked off. If he gets knocked off the generation, it'll be knockoff. If not, it'll be just foul play. So that's the team we're looking at right now. I think from here we'll have to start thinking about overall support. I don't like the idea of having Togekiss and Charizard on the same team because they're both weak to rock. So I think we're gonna have to probably switch it up a bit. I would run a DDD. But the issue with Indeedee is Sableye himself can't really prankster anything towards the opponents. So if we ran a Sableye, support set, it had to be support that only we could do to ourselves, like set up Sunny Day and things like that. We can use Quash, which is a big one for Sableye. So I think we'll have to kind of pivot around a little bit, and this team is not going to be good at all. I can already tell you. We're going to have to use Clefairy. So I think Clefairy, Sableye be pretty good. So in the matchups that we can't bring Sableye for whatever reason, we can still redirect with Clefairy. Ain't the best matchup in the world, but it's something. So Sableye, Clefairy, Charizard, Scrafty, Rotom Wash. And I think to close out this team, we're gonna need something that's a little bit strong that could put in work by itself. So you know what? Screw it. Let me see where our budget is right now. We got $9 with these two already. That's 12 with Clefairy. Looking at 15 with Scrafty. 16 spent with Sableye. You know what? Let's make this a clean, even 20. I think I'm gonna just say screw it, and we'll we'll just add. We'll add. I'm thinking about this. I really between G-Max Lapras or Rhyperior. I think I'm gonna go down the route of choosing Rhyperior. So this is a little bit of a wonky team, I'll admit it. We got Rhyperior, we got Rotom, we got Charizard, we got Scrafty, we got Clefairy, and we got Sableye. Pretty wonky team. I don't think they'll actually do too well just thinking about the matchups, because I don't know how to properly build and optimize the team. But I do see promise. You know, Rhyperior next to Rotom, pretty good synergy. Rhyperior next to Charizard, so that means either you're going to be eating up a hit from Charizard, or you're going to have to play a little bit defensively against it, and you have to deal with Rhyperior. Scrafty with the fake out support. Sableye could potentially quash the opponents, set up Sun, things of that nature, and then we'll have Follow Me Clefairy. The downside here is these two will never be on the same team, if you ask me, because they aren't providing too much offensive presence. So I would just not feel right bringing both of them to the matchup, meaning that we're really going to be running like a 5-man choice option for every game, with either Clefairy being out of the question or Sableye. So yeah, that's it, guys. Went a little bit longer, just me thinking about this. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys have some interesting picks, and disclaimer, I'm just doing this on the fly. I didn't get like 3 hours to think about this. I didn't take 2 weeks to think about this either. So my opinion can easily change by the time this goes up, and I might post this to Reddit, see if we get some discussion there. We'll see. Anyway, like I said, the tier list will be here. I'll probably link down below the actual like tier list itself. If you guys want to share it with other people. But let me know down below what type of team you'll build with a $20 budget. You can't go over it. You can go under, but you gotta have at least 4 to 6 Pokemon built. So yeah, bye.